Friday, so it's day 4 of Summerween, and I just picked up noodles for like the 5th time in the last week or something crazy like that. I just really love Noodles and Company, and it's been really nice while we're unpacking to just pick up some food that's already prepared. Honestly, it's not been 5 times, it's probably been more like 3 times, but Noodles is so good. But today I'm hoping that I can watch Fear Street on Netflix. I'm really excited. And we're gonna be going to a pet store to prepare for the kitten that we're getting on the 8th, which we are so pumped. Oh my gosh, we're so excited to get this cute little kitty. So hopefully I'll finish the Invited today. I'm not loving it, and I wanna pick up something that will actually scare me. So hopefully my next pick will be scarier, and I will update you all soon. So I am finally getting my bookshelves ready here. I have my cart over here, and I put most of my Stephen King novels down here that I own, and I'm sorting them by color. So my biggest stack is blue books, and then I have black books, red, white, and then kind of orange and yellow. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try to fit as much as I can up here tonight and hopefully do a little bit of a time lapse so you can all see my progress. But I do want to point out, here's my book of the month books, and they're so cute, except the 3 on the right do not have the book of the month symbol on the side, and I don't understand why that is, and it's bothering me. So I've seen other people point this out, but looking at it on my shelf is bothering me because it would look perfect if those 3 books had the little symbol. So this is still definitely a work in progress, but this is what I have so far, and I'm really liking how it's looking. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do once I get more books. I could stack them all the way up this wall like I was talking about, but then it might be difficult to actually reach them. But we'll see. For the amount of books I have right now, this is gonna work, and I'll probably tweak it as I live here for a longer time. Hello, so I thought I would show you my Summerween spread so far in my bullet journal. I'm really liking how it's turning out. I got these adorable stickers from Amazon. They came in a pack, and then I wrote the prompts as well as the books I finished. Obviously, as you all know by now, I haven't read very much for this readathon, but I'm liking how this spread is, and I'm excited to kind of be creative on the other side. Here is the rest of the pile of all the spooky stickers. So I'm really liking them, and I definitely will continue to use them. I think on the other side of the page, I may use a yellow and orange gel pen and use this really cute pumpkin, but we'll see. I'm really loving this sticker pack from Amazon. Also, these little black kitties are so perfect because we are adopting a kitten tomorrow that is a black kitten, and so I'm definitely going to incorporate, especially this middle one, into the spread whenever I make a spread for her, and that might actually go on this side of the Summerween page. I am about to start Horrorstor, and this is my first novel by Grady Hendrix. But this has been on my TBR for a long time, and I love IKEA, love how this is laid out like an IKEA catalog, and I'm just really looking forward to diving into it. And it's kind of the perfect length because I don't have a ton of time to read, so I'll hopefully be able to finish this pretty well and read a lot of it tonight, and then hopefully finish it off tomorrow. so I just got to page 65 in Horrorstor, and I'm really enjoying it. It's so funny. If anyone has worked retail, they are going to enjoy this book because there's so many references to how working retail is just really rough and how customers can be so disrespectful. And I worked retail for a really long time. I worked at DSW. And so I just relate to the main character's feelings about how customers can be really rude sometimes. And also I really love IKEA, and the fact that this is kind of based on an IKEA knockoff store is just so fun. Basically what's happening is it's a group of employees and they're staying overnight at their store. And they're trying to catch and see if anybody's breaking in, because there are these weird things happening in the store and items are being damaged. And so they're all staying overnight, but that alone is a really creepy concept. And ever since I was a young kid, I've always thought about how creepy stores would be at night. And it also reminds me of the episode from The Twilight Zone where it's like this department store after hours and there's mannequins in it and they kind of come alive. And so yeah, I'm just really enjoying Horrorstor, and I hope I'll be able to read a lot of it tonight, if not finish it tonight. I'm reading it pretty fast, but we'll see. And I've been listening with some spooky cemetery ambiance, and yeah, it's just been a really fun day. So can't wait to update you. So today our rug came in and I'm really loving it. It's making the house feel a lot more homey. I still have a lot of decorating to do and everything. It's not very neat right now, but I'm loving this couch. Look at these legs. They're gorgeous. We got this secondhand actually, and it was a great deal. And the material is kind of like this velvety material, and it's really comfortable. So I'm loving that, and I just thought the colors really tied in here really well. And then here's my desk over here. Again, it's not very clean right now, but I've been loving this desk. I got it from Marshall's, and I really like this little cute little drawer here. I have my YouTube journal here, as well as my reading journal, where I jot down just some kind of things as I read when I remember to. I want to use this more, but this is really cute. It's kind of spooky, so I got it. But yeah, the house is coming together. I'm really liking this lamp we got from IKEA over here. It's really pretty. It has this gold base. And then we got the mini model of it over here for my desk. So it's cute. I think I'm gonna do a dedicated house tour once I have it all kind of prettier. And yeah, also my dad got me this. Here is my ambiance for tonight's reading. And I'm loving it so much. I'm loving putting on these spooky ambiances for when I'm reading scary books. It's really adding to the atmosphere, and I think I'm gonna keep doing this with my reading. I'm also going to, of course, light my Night Shift Age Horror Novels, Mahogany, Shelves, and Creaky Wood for this, because it is absolutely perfect for a creepy readathon. So I have my ambiance playing in the background. So if you hear the thunder, it's the ambiance. I absolutely adore it. But I wanted to give you an update of my thoughts on Horrorstor. So last night I read exactly 52%, and let me say I'm loving it. I'm loving the retail humor. I actually think it got pretty creepy, and there was a scene that happened that I wasn't expecting, and it kind of went a direction that I wasn't anticipating, but I'm liking the direction it's going. and I'm actually feeling pretty attached to the characters in a way. I'm surprised. I thought that this would just be like a fun little read, but I actually care about the characters and I want to see what's going to happen. And I'm just loving the group dynamic. It's a group of coworkers who don't want to be stuck together, but they are. At least some of them don't want to be stuck together. And there is some humor that is just so ironic and hysterical. It's some dark humor, and the way that the manager is going about things, like these scary things are happening and these bad things are happening, but he doesn't want to call the police because he doesn't want to get in trouble the next morning from his supervisor. And it's like, really, dude? Like, these terrible things are happening and you are worried about this? But it's just funny, and I really like Grady Hendrix' writing style, and I'm very excited once I finish this book. If I still like it by the end, which I really think I will, I am really looking forward to diving into more of his work because it's so creative. I don't see anybody else out there writing like how he does, and just the design and the marketing on all of his books and the concepts, they're so original and fun. And I think Grady Hendrix could be one of my favorite authors. I don't want to say this prematurely though, but I'm excited to read more of his books and also finish this. All right, so I wanted to hop on here and share my wrap up of both books I read, so The Invited as well as Horrorstor. And first of all, I'll start with The Invited because I started with it. And if you hear some noise, we just got a kitten. Obviously in this vlog I announced that, but she has been running around rambunctiously and making lots of noises. So if you hear some noise, that's what it is. But for The Invited, I struggle with this one because I know it's one that some people may like. It's very much a cozy horror book. It's not scary at all. It's very much just like an atmospheric vibe. Oh my goodness, she's running around me. Fanny, come here. Do you want to say hi? I don't know if you can hear, but she's always purring, and she's a good girl, but she's very hyper right now. Okay, keep playing. Anyway, so it's a very atmospheric vibe. It's a very cozy horror. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit spooky, but very much more just like a cozy read, I would recommend this book. It has some witchy elements in it, which were fun to read about, but I was just really slumped out when I read this book because it wasn't scary. I was expecting something to be much more scary. The plot sounded very much like a haunted house story. And in my opinion, this was barely even a haunted house story. I can't even really classify it as a haunted house story, which is what it was marketed as. So I would recommend this again for people who aren't necessarily looking for anything scary, but just want to enjoy a cozy little book with some witchy elements and some ghost elements. But this was just not it for me, and unfortunately, I think this has turned me off to the author. I know a lot of people love The Winter People, but this writing style was just not for me. So maybe one day I'll try The Winter People, but today's not the day. So that's my wrap up. I gave it 2 stars just because I was not enjoying it, and it definitely put me in a reading slump, unfortunately. And I think that's a big reason why I didn't do wonderful in this readathon, and I was just really slumped out. So now for my wrap up of Horrorstor, and this was a really fun read and actually very much impressed me. For some reason, I've kind of been putting off reading this book for a long time, and I don't know why, because it looks great. I mean, it looks like an IKEA catalog, so it was very, you know, grabbed my attention from the very beginning, and I kept picking it up and kind of flipping through it, but for some reason, I just took a while to pick it up. And so since I was really slumped out by The Invited, I decided I wanted to end the readathon with something that I definitely would finish, and that was a lot shorter and just easier to read, for lack of a better word, because there are some pictures in this. It's not a picture book, obviously. I mean, most of it is text, but for example, in the front of each chapter, there is a furniture piece that's advertised, and it has a little blurb about it, and it's just really fun. And of course, the margins, you know, are different than a regular looking book. So this was less intimidating for me. And I also was in such a big slump and going through moving that it was really difficult to really do any reading during this readathon. And I was unfortunately not able to finish all the prompts. I wasn't able to make anything spooky, which I was bummed about, and I only got to read 2 books, which was a bummer for me because I had some grand plans for this readathon and they just didn't happen. But I still did have a good time, and I enjoyed a lot of vlogs I watched for Summerween and felt pretty spooky this week, and so I was thankful for that. I was just a little disappointed, I guess, because the first book really put me in a slump, and also just situationally with moving, I have been so busy. I have not had much time. And then of course we got a kitten at the end, so a whole day was dedicated to adopting the kitten and really spending all day with her. But speaking of which, she just keeps playing over here. Fanny, hey. She's so sweet. What Grady Hendrix did so well in this book, though, was of course his clever, innovative writing style, but also he brought on some gore that was genuinely gross to me, and I was not expecting it. So he did a really good job with that. I also really cared about the characters. I was rooting for them. I wanted to see what would happen, and I never once was really bored during this. I really wanted to see where it would go. It had a really good atmosphere to the whole thing, and it was very fun. It was hilarious. And honestly, I'm excited to read more Grady Hendrix. I think I'll really enjoy his other books if they're anything like this.